Welcome to the latest installment of a series that we like to call That Leslie Sound.
In this series, we're going to attempt to cover every Leslie pedal on the used and the new market. If you want to know more about what pedals are in the series, click on the card above to watch the series opener.
And if you want to know what That Leslie Sound is, click on the card that will take you to a YouTube playlist that you'll hear many famous songs that use That Leslie Sound. Welcome to the series. This episode of That Leslie Sound, we're featuring the Dyno My Roto from Keeley Electronics.
And it sounds a little bit something like this. So if you've been watching the series, we have looked at some pretty complicated feature-loaded pedals in the past to get that Leslie sound. So it's kind of nice. Keeley's offering here is kind of specific to, there's not switches between fast and slow. There's not, a lot of other things. It's a really kind of stripped-down pedal. And we've talked about on the show many times how sometimes we like that. Like a basic pedal with minimal knobs, you find a good sound and you go. So this pedal though, also like maybe Leslie isn't something that you want to dedicate a whole space to.
Right.
So one of the other nice things about this pedal right off the bat is that there's 3 modes. It's really based on a Tri-Chorus rack mount unit that I forget the name of, but the information's out there. So it has a Tri-Chorus mode, it has a rotary mode, and then it also has this Rotoflange mode, which we just think is really cool. So we'll focus in the beginning here on the rotary sounds because that's what the series is about, but we will give you a taste of the chorus and then a taste of the rotary flange thing too. So you have 4 knobs. On the left hand side of the pedal you have the rate and the depth, which are pretty self-explanatory. I think rate's how fast you're making it spin. So where we started here at the beginning of the show, we had the rate way up, we had the depth way up. If I just hit a chord and the pedal's on, and then if we pull that way down, all right, so then we have 2 other knobs on the other side of the pedal. One is a texture knob and one's a level. Again, level is kind of self-explanatory in that oftentimes with rotary pedals, you find kind of a perceived volume drop. So Keeley has put a level knob in to kind of combat that perceived level drop. And then the other one's a texture knob. And depending on what mode you're in, that texture knob changes what it does. So sticking with the rotary mode right now, the texture knob is how close you are to the speaker and how far you are away from the speaker with the microphone. So if we go, and this is what we think, if we go all the way to the left, that's like having the mic farther away, and then as we turn to the right, we're pushing the mic closer, so you'll hear more of, you catch more of that Doppler effect from the mic. I didn't say much about the depth knob. We've found with the rotary setting, we like the depth all the way up.
Yeah. Because if not, it's very subtle, and we want it to be really pronounced.
Right.
Excuse me.
So we're going to have Pat do the typical Leslie sound riff that we've been playing through all these different episodes, and as he does that, I think we're going to start with the texture knob. Maybe take the texture knob all the way to the left, which is going to be farther away. Right. And then as he plays through it, I'll bring it closer. I think also, too, maybe... Well, let's do that twice. Let's do it kind of with a slow speed. Mm-hmm. And then once I get the texture the whole way around, we'll make like a couple stops. Once I get it the whole way around, I'll back off, and we'll speed it up and then do that again, and that will give a pretty good... what's going on with this pedal.
Super Hampton through a Fender Hot Rod Deluxe.
I think it's worth noting, too, we were just saying, we tend to have been reaching for this guitar a lot. There's a lot of options down here.
Yeah.
And this guitar sounds great with
It's been sounding really good with the Leslie stuff, especially. And I'm doing it in the neck. I think in the intro you played in 2, like second position.
I think so.
And I'm going to the neck for just slightly variation. You can get an idea of what it can do. Not the guitar, but the pedal.
All right, so texture all the way back, kind of a slow speed, level in the middle, and got the depth all the way up. That's a really nice sound to it.
It does.
I mean, if this isn't something that you're going to use a ton or don't need the ability to switch between slow and fast on the fly, and then want some of those other options like the chorus and the rotoflange, that's a really nice option.
I agree.
What do you want to do? You want to demo the chorus a little bit?
Yeah, let's demo the chorus a little bit, and then you're going to do the rotoflange.
So play out on the rotoflange. Maybe we could demo that a little bit on clean sound as well. So if I flip this switch in the middle up, we flip up to the Tri-Chorus. And so the texture knob in the Tri-Chorus controls the LFO shape from sine to triangle to square. So I'm thinking we definitely need to back the speed off a little bit for chorus, right?
Yeah, you can maybe bring it up at some point and figure out where that seasickness starts.
Right. That would be kind of neat. So if we go all the way to the left, we're going to be on the sine wave, middle triangle wave, all the way to the right square wave. So maybe we ought to play just through those three so people can hear. Do you want to get a nice check your depth and rate and see if that's what you like? That square wave at the end is...
It's pronounced, for sure.
Right.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Not that we have to belabor the point, but somewhere there, and then, I don't know, let's see where that rate gets a little wonky real quick, and then we'll just move on. Kind of got almost the mid-range honk in that particular. I think I liked it where we found it. Somewhere back here. Yeah, I like it.
And then the last setting,
It's gonna be you,
is the choral, the rotoflange. You just want to play it. So wait, let's read this real quick. Turning to the right introduces positive feedback. So it gets a little more sweep gets a little more pronounced in the flange. We kind of feel like there's almost this rotary thing happening with the flange over top of it that is kind of interesting and might be easier to hear in this. So let's turn the depth up a little. Keep the rate kind of slow. And I guess we'll just put the texture in the middle for now.
I like it there. That's cool because you kind of get that chorus, and then you get that extra little swirl, that wave. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like
Not as
it.
cool as what you're about to do with it, but pretty cool. No pressure.
So
no pressure.
I don't even remember where it was set or when we were fooling with it earlier. So with that, please like and subscribe. We got a lot more coming in the Leslie series. Got a lot more coming in other series and other things happening too. But your subscriptions really help build the channel and help us be able to bring you some of these pedals. So we really appreciate that. Stop by Instagram, Facebook, follow us there as well. And I think with that,
I'm PJ on behalf of the Beard, reminding you no matter what you hear, you never have too much gear.
Yeah.